Hello and welcome everyone. It is Thursday, July 12th, 2018. Yesterday was New Comic Book Day, best day of the week. And again, we got a bunch of new characters being introduced, new titles being launched, a surprise comic coming out. Just so much stuff coming out these days. It's hard to keep track of it all. We'll get into all that in a second. And then at the end, I've got a bunch of stuff coming down the road, which looks really interesting too. So hold tight because there's some stuff you'll want to get. Before I get going though, I just want to thank all my subscribers. Everybody sends me comments. I really appreciate it. Love being part of this community. So thank you very much, everybody. And I want to give a shout out this week. I'm trying to do this and I forget usually. So this week is Wolf Warner. He's been one of my subscribers for quite a while. Sends me a lot of comments and gives me his opinion on stuff and some tips on books and everything else. So thanks, Wolf, for being one of my subscribers. And shout out to you. And there's a link to his channel below in the comments section. So if you haven't checked him out, check him out and sub him up if you can. So thank you, Wolf. Before I get going into books from this week, I just want to really quickly talk about Venom. Just because the sales figures came out just this past week. And Venom #1, I mentioned a few times that the print run was basically 225,000. So fairly high print run. And I mentioned when it came out that even though a high print run, it's gone to a third printing, so it's pretty popular. But I mentioned that #2 would drop off significantly, and it did. #2 was only 73,200, which is basically a third of what #1 was. And then #3 was only 57,527. So the reason I'm bringing that up is because the one for 25 for #3 with that first appearance of Noel the Symbiote God means there's only roughly 2,300 of those out there. So if you've got that one, hang on to it, because that one definitely has some potential with that first appearance of that character. And I'm sure a lot of you have noticed that when these hot books come out, they tend to spike really early, and then they drop off just a little bit as the market gets flooded with everybody trying to make a quick buck. Then it plateaus, and then they start to creep up again. Like this one's going to keep going up. I definitely see some potential for this one. So hang on to it if you got it, and if you don't have it, try and hunt down a copy of that first print, because it's a really good one to get, especially that one for 25. So anyway, I just want to talk about that real quick. So one that it came out that my shop was supposed to get me, and they forgot to pull it, and he felt bad, so he tracked one down for me. He sold it to me for cover. It was Skyward #1's first print, so I was happy to get that one. That one's been optioned for, I believe, a movie. Can't remember if it's a movie or TV show. And anyways, this week from Independence, I got a whole bunch of new #1s. I got Outpost Zero. I don't know what that one's about. I haven't read it yet, but I don't know, I'll give it a go. Like I say, I buy all the #1s from Image. So Farmhand #1 was out. I bought 2 copies of that one. I'm looking forward to that one. I haven't read it. I flipped through it. It looks kind of interesting, and he's growing all this stuff at his farm, and obviously something evil kind of starts creeping up out of the ground by the sounds of it. So that looks kind of cool. She Could Fly #1. I recommended this one, and I still do. I think this one, this is more of a spec book. That was the one you're going to want to buy. That one's going right in my spec box. We'll see where that goes. But with Christopher Cantwell, the writer, being involved in movies and TV shows, there's a good chance that'll get going somewhere down the road. And by now, I'm sure a lot of you are aware, Kirkman released this. This is an honorable mention this week. This Die, Die, Die #1 came out, unannounced, kind of a surprise thing for people. So there's 10 covers in total, and all the covers have different word bubbles in them, except for one, which is basically a blank cover because it doesn't have any word bubbles. So I got the blank one and the ones with 2 different ones. And there's one that's kind of, so this blank one is kind of sought after, and then there's one where it's basically Hillary Clinton on the bottom, and she's got a word bubble that says "I'm drunk." So if you can find that one, that's a good one to get, or if you got it, hang on to it. So that is a good one to get. Well, there's a lot of good independent stuff coming out these days. And last independent I got was Relay #1. Like this one, the artwork's pretty good. It's kind of got a, I don't know, it's a futuristic story, and it's, oh shit, what the hell is the name of that movie with Bruce Willis and science fiction with all the, damn it, I can't remember what the movie was. Anyways, I'll remember it probably as soon as I finish doing this video, but really nice Ward variant. I really like that one. He does some nice stuff, so that's a good one again. Donny Cates is involved in that. I think he's just like a co-writer or helping with the story or something. He's not the main writer, but he's definitely involved in that. So recommend you get that one if you can. It looks pretty good. I got the free comic book day Relay Zero, so I'm going to keep going with that one. From DC, I got Plastic Man #2. I don't know if I'm going to keep going with that, to be honest. I don't know. I'll flip through that one and see what happens. But Sideways #6 was out. I don't think there's anything new as far as characters in that one. I flipped through it. Mortal Man #4. This one was pretty good, and it's got Infinite Woman fighting Immortal Man on that. And I won't tell you what happens, but definitely that sword made from the blood of the Immortals comes into play. Hawkman #2. A lot of people have picked this one up with that really nice variant cover. I like that variant cover. And Wonder Woman 50. I picked this up, regular cover, and really nice Jenny Friesen cover. She's doing some really nice work. But to be honest, I was really kind of disappointed with this story. I mean, I did read it, and I'm not going to tell you what happens, but, you know, they build this whole Dark Gods thing up, and then it's just, I don't know. You read it and find out, but I wasn't overly impressed with it, so I think I might actually drop Wonder Woman, actually, after that. And this is definitely another honorable mention this week is Titans #23. I mentioned this one in my last video. There is a new villain in here, but it's a minor villain, and he ends up dying. But there's a new character, Tyler, and he's got these powers who shows up, so it's the first appearance of that character there, so it's kind of cool. Detective Comics 984. Man, I'm really liking this Hill. Brian, I think it's Brian Hill. So we got the regular cover and then the Brooks variant. Nice Brooks variant, too. Got, oh, God, I'm having brain farts here today. Jesus. Harley Quinn in the background. God, I was having an absolute brain fart there. Anyways, there is not a first appearance, but that character Karma showed up in the last issue, 983, right at the end. You got a kind of a cameo at the beginning, and then right at the last page there was a splash page. So you got a first appearance in the last one. And in this issue, I'm going to show some images here, so just if you don't want to know, turn it off. But I like this character. I like the writer in here, like I say. So Black Lightning zaps him on this one page. And then, unfortunately, the zapping him kind of charged him up and gave him all these powers now. And now this Karma character has these powers, and he goes and zaps Batman as Batman's coming in to jump on him. So, I don't know, it's kind of cool. I like this character. It's kind of a neat-looking character. And the story's, you know, it's pretty well done. It's got a nice flow to it, so I recommend that one. If you haven't got that one, definitely pick that one up. Especially with the first full appearance of a character, you can't really go wrong with that. So, just got to move some of these books out of there. I'm getting kind of loaded up here. There's a lot of first appearances coming out these days. Man, oh man, it's hard to keep track of it all. Flash #50, got the regular, and grabbed a couple of those Matina covers. And again in here, I'm just going to flip to this. If you don't want to know what's going on here, turn it off. But last page, you get this character kind of smashing out of this inmate container cell. You don't really know who it is, so it's going to be, I don't know if it's a new character or if it's an older character that's going to be involved in stuff, but it's Inmate Crisis is what it says, right? It says worlds will live, worlds will die, and the multiverse will never be the same. So it's kind of interesting to see where that goes, but that's a good one to get. If you haven't got Flash 50, definitely grab that one. That's a good one for the box. And last one from DC that a lot of you, I'm sure, probably grabbed. Superman #1, got the regular cover. I got the Adam Hughes cover. I like that one. Got the matte cover, and I got the blank cover. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there's like a. Normally they'll have a regular cover with the blank white cover over top of it. This one has a regular cover with the white cover, and then it's got like a clear or a kind of a semi-transparent white. Thin white sheet, almost like tracing paper over it. I don't know if your comic had that, but that's what mine has. So anyways, that's what I got. It's kind of weird. I've never really seen it like that. Usually they just have the one white cover over it. So interesting. Not seen that way, done that way before. But anyways. And oh yeah, by the way, in that Superman, it's kind of interesting. If you haven't read it, I'm going to give you a little spoiler here, so close your ears or turn the volume off. But yeah, right at the end, Earth ends up in the Phantom Zone, which is where Rol Gulzar was sent at the end of Man of Steel. So now, obviously, Rol Gulzar is going to have a big role to play going forward, and all the other villains that are in the Phantom Zone. So that's kind of cool. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing where that goes. Opens up a whole new line of stories, so that's kind of cool. Anyways, from Marvel, I grabbed Fantastic Four, True Believers, first appearance of Doctor Doom. I do not have the original Fantastic Four, number 5. I would love to get that book, but I just don't have it. I've got 2, 3, and 6, but I don't have number 1 or 5. Those are ones I'm trying to hunt down. They're on my list. So, anyways, Darkhawk number 4, grab that one. And one of my picks this week, Old Man Logan 43, because that's got first appearance of Shadow Tracer in there. Now, the thing for me, I was looking through here, so there's a new character, right? So you got the character. The problem in here is she's called Vendetta, so I don't know, because Logan's talking to her, says, you got a name at least? And she says Joy Jones, and he says, well, we need a code name. I don't need anything except this Vendetta right now. All right, Vendetta, where are we headed? So he's calling her Vendetta, but I don't know if that's, like, I don't see her called Shadow Tracer anywhere, so I don't know. But anyways, apparently she's called Shadow Tracer, but to me she's called Vendetta. That's at least what it looks like in the book. So anyways, and my good friend Boom Boom Comics in the States, he was pretty upset when I told him I wasn't buying X-23 number 1, because he's a big X-23 fan. So Boom Boom, I did buy number 1 regular cover, and I also got the 1 for 10 X-23 variants. So I hope that makes you happy, because I haven't read it, and apparently there's a new character in there too, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to keep going with it though. Boom Boom, I'm sorry. And next up, my last one, and this is my pick of the week, and you know, I'm a big Spider-Man fan. So anytime Spider-Man gets relaunched, I go crazy and buy all the covers. But there is a new villain in here, so anyways, I'm going to show this. So there's the regular cover. I got that one. I got the Chung variant. I got the blank variant. And this is what I mean when I was talking about the blank variants. Normally it's a regular cover with just a blank cover over top. I don't know why the Superman one has that other. Then again, over this would be the other page. But anyways, I got the party variant. I got the party sketch variant. I got the premiere variant for that. I got the 1 for 25. I got the 1 for 50. I like that one. That's a nice Opena cover. Really nice 1 for 50. And the one I'm happy to get, I got the 1 for 100 John Romita variant for that as well. I really like that one. That is a cool cover. So if you can get that one, man, oh man, grab that cover. I like that one and that one the best. Those are my two favorite covers this week. But that is my pick of the week. Now the reason that is my pick of the week, again, there's anytime you get a new villain in the Spider-Man's world, that's a pretty big deal, especially when it's a cool character. And this guy looks pretty kick-ass. So I am going to show some images in here. So right near the end of the book, where the heck is he? You get this guy showing up. To me, he's kind of got a Batman Who Laughs kind of look to him, but he's pretty cool looking. He's on several pages, so it is a first full appearance. It's not just a first appearance, and he's got some lines and everything in there, so it is a first full appearance. But he's not named yet, so who he is and what his name is, I have no idea, but he's pretty cool looking. I really like that. So whenever you get, like I say, a new character in Spider-Man, that is a big deal to me. So that is my pick of the week. Couple honorable mentions, some good books out this week. Didn't think there was going to be as many good books. So anyways, that's it for new stuff. Like I said, I went a little crazy with Spider-Man, but hey, I'm a big Spider-Man fan. So stuff coming down the road. October 13th is The Walking Dead Blind Bag Comics. That's the 15th anniversary of The Walking Dead. So there's 15 blind bags, issues 1, 2, 7, 19, 27, 48, 53, 92, 98, 100, 108, 127, 138, 167, and 171. All different artists doing, like each issue will have a different artist. And from what I understand, there's a 50% chance of getting a color trade dress. There's a 25% chance of getting a color virgin. Then there's a 15% chance of getting a black and white trade dress, and a 10% chance of a black and white virgin. So the black and white virgin, if you get a blind bag and you get that in there, that's the limited one. That's like a 1 for 10 basically. So those are the ones you're going to want. That comes out October 13th. So if you want those, you go to your shop, talk to them, because they can order up, whichever issue you're interested in. So that's what I did. Death of Inhumans #2, that comes out August 1st. I'm just showing the cover. It's an awesome looking cover. It's got Vox on the cover, and it's just really cool, and I love that character. So anyways, that's a really good one. And it was just announced not too long ago that Firefly is going to be, a Firefly comic is coming out in November, which looks really cool. I really like that series, although it didn't last very long. The movie was good. Anyways... but there is a Jock Virgin cover for that Firefly #1 as well, so that you should see that on the screen. That looks pretty cool. And one that you're going to want to get, I ordered these up through my shop just because it was just announced this past week. Fantastic Four #1 is relaunching August 8th, and there's that new character Erraticus that shows up in there. And Ramos has got a cover. Like, none of the covers up to that they announced initially had Erraticus on the cover. But of course, they just announced this past week that Ramos is doing a cover, which you see on the screen, that's got Erraticus on the cover. So it's going to be your first appearance in the book and on the cover. So that's a good one to get. So I've ordered a few of those up. I would talk to your shop and tell them you want some of those. If you want those, I would recommend it, because that's going to be a good one. Hot Lunch Special is another one from Aftershock, which is coming out August 8th. That looks really cool. I'm going to order that for sure. There's a couple covers, but I'm going to show you the one on the screen there. That looks really good, so I'd recommend that one. Avengers got a Halloween Special #1, comes out October 3rd. That looks pretty interesting. Going to order that up. Umbrella Academy. I love the. I mentioned those a few times as spec books, and it is Free Comic Book Day. There was the first 2 series, Apocalypse Suite and Dallas. The 3rd volume is going to be Hotel Oblivion. That's coming out October. So if you're interested in that, order it up. That's from Dark Horse. That's going to be really good. And I mentioned Thanos Legacy #1, but I'm going to mention again, it's a one-shot, and it follows Thanos basically from after number 18, where the conclusion of that Thanos wins run, and his connection to Requiem, who is showing up very shortly in Infinity Wars, so definitely get that. Leviathan is another one coming out from Image Comics. That comes out August 1st. That looks pretty cool. Going to definitely get that. And it was just announced that Titan Comics is going to be doing a Blade Runner series, which is going to be canon for the movies, because Blade Runner was one of my favorite movies back in the day with Harrison Ford, so really looking forward to that one. But anyways, that's it this week, folks. Take care, everyone. I will talk to you later. Have a good time. Happy hunting. If you haven't been to your comic shop yet, get out there. There's some good books this week. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.